All right, let's get to it. I'm Nick Shell. I'm the internet receding hairline guy. And here's what I want to call this video, and then I want to tell you why. I call this video the only 5 things I'll ever talk about. Now, I'm of course only talking about my receding hairline video series when I say that, as far as the only 5 things I'll ever talk about. But I've been doing these receding hairline videos for, you know, over a year now, and so consistently since January. And if you've been watching them faithfully, you'll know that it's really about 5 things I talk about. I've got my basically set of principles, and that's all I really cover. And so I want to just go ahead and say what those 5 things are. I have an audience, or maybe not. No, they're doing their own show. All right, so the 5 things. Number 1, the number 1 thing I want you to know about my principles here on my video series about hair loss is I don't care which method you choose to deal with your own hair loss. Just do what's right for you. You've heard me say that many times. Now, I didn't used to say that. That didn't used to be part of my whole thing here, but it definitely is. I don't care what you do. I want you to accept that. I don't care what you do about your hair. If you want to shave your head, you should do it. If you want to get hair plugs, you should do it. If you want to get some kind of weave, do it. I want you to do whatever you need to do, and I don't care what you do. That's number 1. Number 2 is I personally choose the let it go bald and shave it method. You know that about me. I accept what you do. I'm just gonna do my own thing. I'm gonna be the guy that, whether I go famous or not, you will see me go bald over time. I don't know how long it's gonna take for me to go bald. Maybe I'll be 65 and finally be half bald. I don't know. But you're gonna watch me go bald, and the balder I get, I'll just be shaving my head, and that's the end of it, and I don't care. So that's my method. I obviously endorse that for anyone who wants to do that or is curious to do it. I think it's a great liberating thing. I also get that apparently my head is good for shaving. I have the right kind of head. So that's good, that's convenient for me, since that's my method of choice there. I mean, I personally think it's a good idea to try it, but again, you got to do what's right for you, which leads us to number 3, and that is confidence always outweighs hair. Yes, if hair does weigh something, but it doesn't weigh as much as your confidence. And so without confidence, who cares about your hair loss? I mean, I've said this in other videos before, that why is it that certain CEOs or something like that, that they feel the need that they've got to get work done on their hair to do what they do? For me, I don't care what I'm doing. I don't care if I'm acting. I don't care if I'm a CEO. I don't care if I'm a game show host. If I feel like shaving my head when that time comes, I'm gonna do it, and I'm gonna pull it off. I'm gonna find a way to pull it off and make it happen for me, because that's what works for me. But why ultimately? Because I have confidence. And I still believe that the underlying reason that people watch these hairline videos is they want to have confidence despite hair loss. Well, that's what I'm all about. I'm about helping you find confidence in yourself despite your hair loss. I get it that some people are never going to be like me and never just shave their head and embrace it that way. They're going to do their own things to prevent or save their hair loss. That's cool. Again, I don't care that they choose a different method than me. What I am saying is confidence is king. Without confidence, you're never going to get past this thing with your hair. If you need to get a hair transplant to have that confidence, then that's what you need to do, and I support it. But I'm saying, what does it say about me that I can just embrace balding and shave my head and not need to do something like that in order to have that confidence? Now, some people have heard me say that, and that sounds slightly offensive because it's almost like I'm talking down to somebody. But hopefully you can see where I'm trying to come from on that. And that is, confidence is king. What can you do to have confidence in yourself despite your hair loss? I can embrace it and shave my head. That's what I can do. Maybe you have a different method. I'm not here to dog your method at all. All right, number 4. Number 4 is this, and it's, I guess, similar. Hair loss only holds you back if you give it that power. It only holds you back if you give it that power. Whoa, that's a big step. I made that video saying that no one can offend me, and I challenged the world to offend me, and no one did. The reason no one did is not because they didn't try, but because I didn't give them power over my emotions to let them offend me. Same thing with your hair. Why is it that I know men, I mean, because in my mind, I'll just shave my head, right? But I know other guys who don't. They've got the whole like Kevin from The Office thing going on. Like they still have hair on the sides and they don't shave it, but yet they're confident and their lives actually seem pretty great. I'm amazed that they have that confidence despite having that hair situation going on, because why don't they just shave off the sides? But even then they're confident and their life is good. So it clearly is not holding them back. They don't give their hair loss that power. Yes, so many of us do give our hair loss power when we may not even have that much hair loss. I mean, look, most people see me from this perspective. No one's going to see a balding guy. That's not the first thing they're going to think, or even the fifth thing they're going to think when they see me. They're not thinking about that. But we give power to our hair loss, or we don't. And to not give it that power, at this point in your life, it's going to take a conscious effort, because you're already watching this video, which tells me it's bothering you, your hair loss, or the fact that you may lose your hair eventually in the near future. It bothers you. Well, right now you're giving it power. You've got to take that power away by finding a way to be confident in yourself. And again, for me, I started noticing my receding hairline at 19. But I shaved my head for the first time when I was 21, and nothing gave me more confidence than doing that, because it showed me my future. It showed me that whenever I did lose so much hair, that I could shave my head and I could feel good about it and I could look good. So, last thing, number 5, I am here to encourage you and support you. Now, I get it. I get my tone is a bit, older brother, in your face, direct. But I hope what you see is I am here to never tear you down. I'm here to be honest and truthful with you. And I want you to remember that throughout your life. People often think that people who say what they want to hear, that those are good, helpful people in their life. Not always true. And now what I think is, I think I can be both for you in your life. And I think that's why I've gained a following. Because I am helpful. I speak the truth, even if it's not what you want to hear. But at the end of the day, I would never say anything to insult you, to put you down. I may say, hey, you've got this issue going on psychologically. I suggest you do something about it. I'll say that. But I'm not here to put you down. For example, just by the nature of it, I feel that the subject of men's hair loss is overall a negative thing. And there's overall a negative, wounded audience that comes to watch a lot of my videos. I see the comments and I see people. I mean, it's just so funny, because in the real life, you would never go up to somebody and just say, your hairline looks awful, you're balding. But people say that to me, and it doesn't bother me. It just shows me a reflection of that person's heart. They don't have the inner peace that I have. I have inner peace in my life. There's no question about that. I do. I'm confident in myself, and I don't go around saying things like that to people. I keep things positive and proactive and direct. But I hope that what you can say about me is that I'm here to encourage and support you, right? I mean, as far as an agenda goes, my agenda is for you to feel confident in who you are and what you do, despite what's going on. That's my agenda. My agenda is not to sell you on any kind of product or system or anything like that. It's okay that you disagree with me. That's fine. But ultimately, when it's all said and done, I want you to be able to say, you know what? Even if I don't believe everything that Nick Shell says, which why would you? Then you'd just be a mindless robot. You're not supposed to agree with me 100%. But ultimately, I want you to feel that I'm here to encourage you. So, we've done this in less than 10 minutes, but this video, I call it the only 5 things I ever talk about in my receding hairline videos. So, if you've been subscribing, you've heard me say all this multiple times. If this is one of the first videos you've watched since subscribing, now you know what you're getting yourself into. These are the ultimate principles on what I base all of my hairline videos on about. So as far as what I'll talk about next, I'll call it a different title, but ultimately you're probably going to see that it comes down to one of these 5 things. I am Nick Shell. I am the Internet Receding Hairline Guy.